What to do if you're arrested out of state on a Texas warrant. Picture this: you're returning from vacation, going through customs at the airport, and suddenly you're being handcuffed and taken to jail. Not in Texas, but in another state entirely. You find out there's a warrant for your arrest from Texas that you never even knew existed. This nightmare scenario happens more often than you'd think, and I've helped dozens of clients navigate this exact situation. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what happens when you're arrested out of state on a Texas warrant, and more importantly, the right way to get released without wasting thousands of dollars. Hi, I'm Michael Lowe, a criminal defense attorney practicing in Dallas, Texas, and this is critical information that could save you or someone you love a lot of time, money, and stress. Understanding the problem. First, let's talk about how this even happens. You might be wondering, how can I be arrested for something I didn't know about? The answer is what we call at-large warrants. These are warrants issued by law enforcement after the alleged event occurred, not at the scene of the crime. Detectives obtain these warrants without notifying you, which means you can have an active arrest warrant and have absolutely no idea it exists. Once that warrant is issued in Texas, it becomes what's called a fugitive warrant, which means any law enforcement officer anywhere in the United States can arrest you on it. People get picked up at airports, during traffic stops, at border crossings, completely blindsided by a warrant they never knew existed. When you're arrested, the state where you're located will hold you while Texas initiates the extradition process. The Texas governor will issue what's called a governor's warrant to formally request your return to Texas for prosecution. Fighting extradition is virtually impossible. Courts can only review whether the paperwork is in order, whether you're the person named, and whether you're charged with a crime. They cannot examine whether you actually committed the offense. Even if you waive extradition and cooperate fully, being physically transported back to Texas can take several weeks while you sit in an out-of-state jail. The costly mistake. Here is where most people make an expensive mistake that can cost them thousands of dollars. When you're arrested out of state, there's usually no bond amount set on the Texas warrant. So naturally, you or your family start looking for solutions. Maybe you hire a local attorney in the state where you're being held. Maybe you contact a bondsman in that state. Here's the problem. That out-of-state attorney or out-of-state bondsman cannot help you with your Texas warrant. They don't practice in Texas. They can't file motions in a Texas court. Sure, under the extradition laws, an out-of-state judge can set a temporary bond that could release you from that jail. But this is crucial. That bond does not deactivate the original warrant in Texas. It's only temporary. So what happens? You pay a bondsman in, let's say, Florida or New York, get released from the Florida jail or the New York jail, but you still have to deal with the Texas warrant. When you eventually return to Texas, you discover you need to post a second bond to handle the original Texas case. That means you're paying bond fees twice, once to the out-of-state bondsman and once to the Texas bondsman. For most people, we're talking about thousands of dollars in unnecessary expenses. So what's the right way to handle this situation? Let me walk you through the 7 critical steps. Step number 1, don't fight extradition. It's virtually impossible and will only delay your release. Step number 2, don't hire an out-of-state attorney or an out-of-state bondsman. They simply cannot help you with your Texas warrant. Step number 3, don't post bond on the fugitive warrant in the state where you're being held. You'll end up paying twice. Step number 4, hire a Texas attorney where the warrant originated. This is the key. If your warrant is from Dallas County, you need a Dallas area attorney. A local Texas attorney can file the proper motions in that specific court. Step number 5, the Texas attorney will file a motion to set a bond or a writ of habeas corpus to get a bond amount established on your warrant. Judges generally grant these motions because they understand the practical difficulties of your situation. Step number 6, Texas law requires that the defendants physically sign the bail bonds before they become effective. Obviously, if you're sitting in a jail in California or in New York, you can't personally appear in Texas to sign anything. Your attorney must request that the judge waive the bond signature requirement. Texas judges routinely grant this waiver in out of state arrest situations. Step number 7. Once the bond is set and the signature requirement is waived, the bond must be posted in the county where the warrant originated. You can use a bonding company licensed in that Texas county, or someone can post a cash bond directly at the jail window. There's one final step, and that's absolutely critical and often overlooked. After the bond is posted in Texas, your attorney must ensure that the local sheriff sends a teletype message through what's called the NLETS system to the out-of-state jail where you're being held. This electronic notification orders your release. Without this communication, you could remain sitting in that out-of-state jail even though your bond has been properly posted in Texas. Your attorney needs to confirm the notification was sent and follow up with the out-of-state facility to verify they've received the release order. I've personally handled cases where clients were held in Florida, California, New York, and other states on Texas warrants. By following this process correctly, I was able to get them released by posting only one bond in Texas rather than paying twice. If you or a loved one has been arrested out of state on a Texas warrant, time is critical. Every day spent in an out-of-state jail is another day away from your family, your job, and your life. And every wrong step can cost you thousands of dollars. The key is working with an experienced Texas criminal defense attorney who knows how to navigate the specific situation and who can act quickly to get you released in the right way. If you're facing the situation and the warrant originated from Dallas County or the surrounding North Texas area, my office can help. I've successfully handled dozens of these cases and know exactly what needs to be done. You can find my contact information in the description below. The information provided in this video is for general educational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Every case is unique and depends on specific facts and circumstances. This video does not create the attorney-client relationship. If you need legal advice regarding a criminal matter, please consult with a licensed attorney in the relevant jurisdiction. Laws vary by state and are subject to change. Do not rely solely on this information when making legal decisions. Thank you very much.